Hi everyone, it's a really horrid grey day in London today, so I feel inspired to do a winter bronze look. And I've put a little bit of my Light Illusion from Flower Beauty on my skin just to save time, and I'm just going to put a little bit of Delilah, it's Radiant Cover, isn't it called? Take Cover Radiant Cream, just to really lift the darkness under my eyes. I love these little nifty brushes, by the way, really short, cheap as chips from Makeup Revolution. But I love this sort of rose gold colour, and they're really firm, they're not soft, and they fit beautifully in my makeup bag, and they look nice. Chucked on a leopard shirt and thought, come on, let's get a little bit of warmth in my skin. Now, I actually do feel almost blue-grey, and I'm going to start using some of my favourite fake tan, which I think I have shared with you years back. Still my favourite, James Reed Gradual Tan H2 Tan Mist, because it simply smells of rose. And you spritz it on your face, put your moisturiser on, spritz it on, dance around in your bra, get dressed, and then it dries, and then 2 hours later you've got a nice warm complexion. Why I haven't been doing that, I don't know, but I've got it out of my drawer and I plan to do that tomorrow. But in the meantime, I just thought I'd add a little bit of freshness to my skin. Now I'm going to be using a powder bronze for this look, so I'm going to go straight in with my Nip and Fab Electric Apricot. This is a mighty fine colour, as you can see, but it blends really easily. And to apply it with the brush, see how well that goes down, that I use for my foundation. Just make sure you don't go and touch your foundation up with the same brush. But it's just quite nice to migrate the colours together. Now again, make sure you kind of keep that orbital area free of colour and keep that colour placement just on the height of the apples of your cheeks and just across your cheekbone. Don't take it in too close because you want to give your face a nice little bit of width. So then just to add a little bit more, but not to overdo it, as you know I can do that easily, just putting that on the fullness of my cheekbones. I love apricot. I love pink, I love this colour on my cheeks, I love nude. I don't know, it's such an emotive thing, isn't it? One morning you feel like, you know, a bit pinky and fresh, then you feel a bit more apricot-y, but it just lifts my complexion. I'm going to use a very light powder. I'm just going to use the Airbrush Charlotte Tilbury powder here. This is number 2. Just going to whisk it in and apply it to those shiny areas, because the Flower Light Illusion foundation is really glossy, for those of you who know about it. And I'm going to be applying the bronzer just to the outer side. Now in the summertime I always prefer to use matte bronzers because I don't want too much light reflection on my skin when the sun is high, the light is bright. But in the wintertime, when, if I could just turn my camera around and show you how grey it is, it's flat and it's not much light around, so that's when you need to have a little bit of radiance. And I've been loving over the years Ombre Radiance by IT Cosmetics. It's super sheer and it's nice and big. And when you're using bronzer, you need to use a nice big brush. The reason you want to use a big brush, this is a MAC 150S, is you get a nice soft distribution of colour. If you go in with a small brush, it's much stronger. So whisk around the brush, really put lots and lots of product into the brush, then just mix it into your hand. You have to wash your hands afterwards, but it's well worth it. And take the warmth just around the perimeter of your face. So you're really just kind of putting that warmth into the hairline. Now this product has a subtle radiance to it. It's not sparkly like a sort of Bobbi Brown shimmer stick, which is way too much for me. I love many of the Bobbi Brown products, as you know, but I'm not a shimmer brick type of person. I know there are lots of shimmer brick fans out there, but this is just a little bit more candlelit, and it just helps to frame the face, and of course on the end of your nose, but you would naturally catch that sunlight and you can just go over your peachy cheeks. Now obviously it's the neck. Hard if you're wearing a white shirt, and if you go to work and you wear a lot of white shirts, then just fake tan that area of your body, so you don't need to worry about it. The last thing you want is makeup on your neck, and because I've got a red face, white neck and a sort of warmer toned body, I often, when I've got my act together and organised, spray that area of my body so that everything connects and it's just a lot easier. See how delicate that is? It's almost not really picking it up at all. Very, very light. But it just gives a lovely, lovely warmth to your skin. Now be careful like me if you've got blonde, especially sort of bleached hair at the front, because if you're not that careful, you can actually stain your hair, which is not the best look after all, is it? Okay, just a little bit at the end of the nose, and that should be picking up just a nice soft radiance. And that also makes me feel, oh, that's better. Now I feel just a little bit more human. So I've set my brows with the Soap and Glory Archery, with the one that's got the little gel at the end. I really like these products, as you know before, and I try to be consistent to make sure, and for you to know that I'm genuine and that products that I love and use, I'm not just rotating product after product, because that just makes no sense. Right, I love Giorgio Armani. I love their products. They are the best company for textures. They do the most divine textures. Eyes to Kill. This is a really beautiful powder eyeshadow that blends into a lovely sort of like soft creamy texture. It's really beautiful. Sorry to be not talking to you. I'm trying to find the brush I laid out. Here we are, might as well have one. So I'm just going to place this in here, and because it's slightly creamy, it doesn't go everywhere. Very powdery powders, as you know, tend to fall on your face, but if you have a more of a buttery one, it stays in place, and it's just so lovely. And I swear that actually investing in a nice eyeshadow makes all the difference. Done. Sometimes you can struggle a lot with your eyeshadows, can't you? You put them on, it doesn't sit right, it doesn't sit evenly, you can't get it close to the lash line, and it just looks patchy and it doesn't last. Sometimes we have to invest in the things that make all the difference. Now you can probably see the way I'm applying this is that I'm just leaving the inner corners of my eye clear, because I'm going to put a lighter colour there. But for me, and for anyone else who has a sort of falling socket, it's really important, whatever look you're doing, just to add a little bit of definition and darkness just along here. So now I'm going to take my Long Wear Cream Eyeshadow Stick by Bobbi Brown, and this is called Golden Pink. And close my eyes and just put it in this area, just over my tear duct. Not too much underneath, but it blends really well with a lovely sort of soft, warm gold. It's not orangey, what I've used on my eye, and I think that's important in the winter. Don't use a really kind of reddy brown. Kind of just keep it quite light and quite fresh. Just a little bit cleaner. And let me tell you, this is a lovely look if you're feeling really dark and grey under your eyes. Just that bluey grey area, adding a shot of light just over that area. As you can see, it really picks it up. It adds brightness and lightness to the darker areas of our face, but it also adds as a little bit of distraction. So people look at your eyes, they think, oh, it looks pretty, there's a nice shot of light there. They go, oh, look how tired she looks. And that's a really good trick of makeup too. I'm just going to push my socket back just very slightly with the So Ever brush. It's called an Eye Smudger 226, and it's really thin. I'm going to be using a Nip and Fab palette here, which I absolutely love. Cheap as chips, really, really good range of colours. And you can see here, I wouldn't use any of these warmer colours. I'll wait till my skin tone is warmer. I'm just going to be adding a little bit of depth with this brown shade here. So it's top right. It's called Fudge. I'm just putting it on the tip, and I'm just pushing it into my socket here, just because I don't feel I've got enough lift there. And I'm going to keep this look sort of quite top heavy. So I'm just smudging that powder in there and just keeping that socket just a little bit more pushed back. And just by adding that darker shade, you're always pushing it back slightly, but they're really blended so well that you can't really see where it starts and finishes, and that's the key. I just need to make that nicer. Use the point of the cotton bud, and that blends in really well. And just to make sure that doesn't drop too much, I just want a subtle lift there. So just going in again with the tip of this brush. It's a really good brush, this, if you want to get a nice socket, because sockets are often hard to define because your tools aren't right. Sometimes they're too big and you get too much spread of product. So I just want this on the outer side really, just to throw my eyes forward and just make them a little bit more shapely. I'm just going to go over the flat side of the cotton bud, always a handy cotton bud, and blend that through. And I'm not going to use any highlighter or anything under my brow because that's just going to make that look a little bit more predominant, and I want to knock that back so that my eyes go forward. Now I'm going to put a coat of mascara on. I'm really going to wedge it from the bottom. I'm going to be using my Max Factor Masterpiece because why not? And I'm going to chuck a little lash just on the outer corner to really accentuate that lift, because I'm feeling a bit tired, adding the brightness here and the lift on the outside, putting on a leopard shirt, and I'm fabulous. But if I went out with my joggers on and my hair in a pineapple, I'd be feeling a bit glum. So this is going to lift my mood. But when I go and pick up my son from school, some of the mums will be like, good Lord, that's a bit much, isn't it, for the school run, love? Well, whatever. Sometimes in the summer, when I've done these looks, it's easy because I can chuck on a big pair of sunglasses and they don't know that I've got lots of makeup on my face. I don't even know why I care. But sometimes I turn up looking as rough as an old boot, and then sometimes I'm off to the disco. Right, now these are the lashes I'm going to use. These are really handy for work. And they are just ones that go at the end, but they're like a trio of lashes that go right on the end. So it's almost like putting 3 individual eyelashes on, but guess what? You only have to stick them once. So I always use the duo glue. I never really bother with the glue, excuse me, that comes with the eyelashes. So I have a separate glue, and sometimes I use the grey one, sometimes I use the white one. I'm going to be using the white duo now. Take them out with a tweezer, and they're just so quick because sometimes at work I don't really have the time. Usually the hairdresser is working with me at the same time, and if I can just get these on whilst he's or she is blow drying the hair, then that just saves me, you know, 10 minutes of time to do something else. So I can just do 2 of these, apply them, just make sure you put them just almost laid on top of your lashes. Don't apply the lashes to your skin. If you lay them just on top of the lashes, they will sit better and you won't see that thread. Do the other side. These things are never easy to do on yourself, but you can get used to it and the effect is great. And what I'll do is I'll do my lips whilst allowing this to dry, just on the outer corner. Now if you want to have a more round eye, you would put these lashes in the centre here, but I want more of a lift today. Right, as that glue is drying, I will go to my lips, and I'm going to be using Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude. And I don't want to jump the gun here, but I feel after 2 lasers on my lip area, it's definitely become a little bit more firmer, and I feel more confident applying makeup, especially on the films, because you can really see the bumpiness of my lips. It's to say how it upsets me is a bit much, but it's annoying. Anyway, my lips are hydrated, and so you probably saw what I did. I put on the liner and define my lip shade, because I'm going to use a gloss because I just want a bit more light, because we're lacking in light in Europe. Well, we won't be in Europe for much longer, will we? And I'm blending that lip liner. It was hard to talk and put my lip liner on. Just to create a fuller mouth shape, but with no hard edge. Such a classic colour, this. Now this is a problem. My ears are really red. I can't even say it's right for spite or left for love. No, it is right for spite, isn't it? I might just put a little bit of my Light Illusion on that. Let me just go back to my ears. This is something that you have to keep your eyes and ears out for. Your eyes and ears out! This is something that you need to watch at work, because you can have a beautiful model or a presenter or whoever you're doing, and then, I don't know, people's ears tend to go red if they're a bit hot, don't they, and change temperature, and they look beautiful, and then they've got these pink ears behind, so I'll just soften that so as to look put together for you all. Try not to paint my earrings as well, which I probably have done. Anyway, let's just sharpen that line under there, so that's lovely. Let's blend that on top. Good, okay, now last but not least, I'm going to be using Max Factor's Honey Lacquer in Honey Nude. And this is a really rich, creamy lacquer that's like a balm, nice density of colour, comfy on the lips. Feels very luxurious, this on the lips. And it's a great colour for this sort of nudie look. See, with these sort of eyes and with this sort of, you know, sheeny golden skin, you don't really want to introduce any pinks. The apricot is the biggest colour, which is kind of blended now, isn't it? I mean, I could actually just add a tad more, just to lift slightly, because you don't want to be too bronzed. And makeup always settles, doesn't it? It's always better sort of 5 minutes after you've done it. But again, I've shot myself in the foot with my Speed Beauty, haven't I? I can't wait 5 minutes to give you the final look, because that would take up way too much time. I'm just going to stop talking for 1 minute and just take that a little bit closer there. No, I wouldn't have been able to do that a few months ago. Okay, love this colour. Right, before I put mascara on, I'm going to use these really soft pencils. It's a Gajol one, again by Max Factor. Rimmel does some really nice ones too, but this is slightly finer. And again, just to add the brightness and lift, I'm just going to paint this into my waterline. It's not a new trick by any means, but I think it's a trick that we forget about. Be careful not to paint the roots of your lashes. That's why I do it first and then put the mascara on, because if you do it after your mascara, the pigment can sometimes sit in the roots of your lashes, and then you look like you've sort of got albino roots, like you need to get your eyelashes roots done. That's another thing to add to the beauty list of must-dos, right? Okay, so let's see how these lashes are fitting. Now I'm going to go over the roots of my lashes, and then I'm just going to connect them in very gently, just to give me that little lift, and touch the edge there. A bit more mascara. That one needs a little comb through. Feel free to push them around and manipulate them to make sure you get that lift that you want while the mascara is still wet. So I'm just going to push that in. That gives a lovely lift there. And a lovely lift there. I'm just going to bring that lash down so it connects just a little bit. And very delicately, just underneath the lower lash. It's not as heavy as the top. So I've got a little bit of definition there, but not too much. Great. Okay. I might just do a little bit more powder. Just here. Here and here, just underneath my chin. Mess my hair up, always a good thing to do to finish off. And there is my winter bronze look. I hope you like it. I hope you feel the same sometimes when you're feeling a little bit grey. It's nice to inject just a little bit of colour into our face without it looking too sort of fake. This looks real, it looks lovely in daylight, it doesn't look too orangey or too reddy. There's a lot going on with the lashes and the white liner, but all of those little things just create subtle adjustments to your face. So I hope I've given you a few ideas and you can use them in your makeup next time you do it. Anyway, bye for now and look forward to chatting to you below as always.